You're watching The Blitz, sponsored by Realtor Michael Rocha.
Welcome back, everybody, to The Blitz. This week, we're covering Denair High in its home opener against Weston Ranch High of Stockton. Now, both teams were looking to bounce back from big losses from the previous week when the Coyotes lost 49-6 to Orristimba and the Cougars lost 55-7 against Sierra.
Play for everybody! Yeah! Let's go! Hey, Coyotes on 3, 1, 2, 3! Oh! Cougars on me! Cougars on 3, 1, 2, 3! Cougars!
Now, as far as I can tell, this is the first matchup between these two teams. And to give some context, last year Denair finished as runner-ups in the D7 section championship game, while Weston Ranch had only managed to win one game over the past 2 seasons. We kick off the highlights with the Cougars, who convert a pair of third downs on their opening drive. First with a 15-yard pass from Roger Ruvalcaba to Christopher Buttram, and then with a 6-yard pass over the middle to Captain Pulusi Ionatana. But after entering Denair territory, the Coyote defense capitalizes on a botched handoff. Sophomore Anthony Pineda gets a fumble recovery to his name, and Denair gets the ball on offense. Both teams trade punts after the fumble, but on their second possession, the Coyotes begin to see success. On the ground, as you can see, with a 7-yard run up the gut by Cody Martinez, and then this rumbling 4-yard pickup by Harley Padilla. That sets up Denair inside the 10 and leads to the first score of the game. A 7-yard touchdown run from Martinez. It's 6-0 after a failed PAT. But it wouldn't take long for the tables to turn. There's really only one reason to be showing a kickoff, and that's because there's fireworks on the horizon. Aaron James Rodriguez scoops the floundering ball from the turf, and then he kicks it into high gear. This kid is running so fast, the camera sensor couldn't keep up. But in the end, it's a 91-yard touchdown, even if it's blurry. That return ties the game after Denair blocks the PAT. There were a couple of notable plays before the half was over, like this 48-yard run from freshman Deontay Levin that was called back due to holding. A tough break for the Cougars because that would have been down at the 7-yard line. And then for Denair, this Connor Prock interception of Noah Deed, the second turnover for the Coyote defense. But no more points were added to the board, and so your halftime score is 6-6. And with that, it's time to recognize our sponsor before the second half highlights begin. A 2-time Reader's Choice winner for Best Real Estate Agent, Michael Rocha is known to put his clients first. Whether you're buying or selling in 2021, Michael Rocha is the agent to call because he'll get you the best deal. For more info, call 209-485-5228 and follow 209 Real Estate on Instagram and M. Rocha Homes on Facebook. We're back in a hurry with the second play of the half for Weston Ranch. A quick pass from Ruvalcaba to James Rodriguez that turns into a long foot race towards the end zone. Number 11 going for gold. That's an 82-yard touchdown, and as you can see by the reversal of time, it is also your
Play of the game.
The Cougar captain starts the sequence with a well-placed stiff arm, and then he proceeds to jet down the sideline past the entire Denair defense. Connor Prock almost catches up to him, but Ionatana, he knows his team has just taken the lead. And this would prove to be the spark for Weston Ranch. Denair seemingly responds on the ensuing drive with a clutch 60-yard run from David Smith. But holding leads to a flag, and it's called back. So instead of hunting for a touchdown from the 3, this drive ends in dramatic fashion as a David Sutton bomb is nearly reeled in by Christian Perez. Oh no, it hits the ground, it's incomplete, and on the very next play, it's another home run highlight. And who is it? Of course it is, James Rodriguez. This time he gets the ball on the far side of the field before again outrunning the entire Denair defense. That's a 58-yard touchdown. It's now 18-6 with 4:13 left in the third quarter. The Coyotes get the ball right back, and they again feed the ball to Smith with a toss. This senior picks up a decent chunk of yards, but he's tripped as he falls to the ground. Number 3, Namir Brown-Sanger, is credited with the turnover, and Weston Ranch takes over at the 45. And that's when Noah Deed decides to extend his stat line. This is a 49-yard pass to Ionatana. Damian Lovelace nearly gets his hands on the ball, but he can't quite get there. They're down inside the 10, and it doesn't take long for Deed to connect with Mauricio Morales, who rips away a would-be interception from Padilla for the touchdown. Oh, it's 26-6. That would be it in terms of touchdowns, but there was still some excitement left in the game. The Cougars nearly extend their lead thanks to a muff punt by Loveless that gives them great field position. Freshman Jose Aguilar steps into the game and completes a 31-yard pass to Buttram, who breaks a couple of tackles and falls at the 23-yard line. It's looking good for the Cougars, but then the Coyote defense shines once more. The third turnover of the game as Padilla intercepts Aguilar to stop another potential scoring drive. Denair continues the effort to climb back. Here's an 11-yard run from Smith, but the Cougar defense quashes the effort with tough play, as can be seen on this 4-yard run by Martinez that ends with a very scary suplex tackle. And finally, this 14-play drive and the game is ended with an Elian Urbina sack of Sutton. There's a nice mass celebration to celebrate a return to the winners column for Weston Ranch, and then a victory play seals the deal. Cougars win 26-6.
We made a lot of mistakes, but I think we limited some mistakes as opposed to last week. We definitely got better in some of our assignments. We got a long ways to go. We got a pretty young team. Like I said, we don't have a JV this year, so we got a lot of sophomores starting. So it's going to be a work in progress, but we definitely improved from last week. Just a lot of things we got to fix. The last 2 years, we've had pretty good teams. In the beginning, we've had penalties. You know, I think one's just getting used to it. Two, I was actually not happy with the penalties, but a little happier because our kids were getting after it. You know, I think last week we didn't have a lot of penalties because we weren't touching a lot of people. You know, but I thought a couple of the penalties didn't go our ways. I thought they were good, hard plays. It just happens sometimes, but I'm glad that we're getting in it and we're getting after people. We ran the ball a lot better tonight. We were much more aggressive tonight than we were last week. So I think it was an improvement. Not happy, with the result. Obviously, we'd like to win the game, but we are getting better and the kids are improving. Harley Padilla played a pretty good game. They kept trying to go at him. Had, I think, one pick and thought he had another pick in the end zone. I think it was a tie ball, which goes to the offensive guy, but he did pretty well. Up front, I didn't get to watch too much on our defense. Because usually over there we're doing offense. But definitely those two, I think, stood out. You know, but we still got some D linemen like Drake Francis, who's a 3-year starter and whatnot, trying to do stuff up front. So there are some bright spots for sure. And good news is, like, you know, guys like Harley Padilla and Connor Prock are only juniors, so we will have them for another year. So that's definitely a bright spot for us. I don't think much changes. Like, the kids know we've made mistakes and we got to keep getting better. So it's just going to be that uphill battle every week where, hey, okay, we did this better this week. Now we got to add on. We got to get better at these things. And just try. It's cliche, but it's one game at a time. Really, just trying to get better one game at a time. Like I said, I do think we improved tonight, and hopefully it'll be better next week. You know, we got a Riverbank game, which I think, you know, is a winnable game. I think we'll be pretty evenly matched, kind of like we were tonight. You know, a couple things went wrong tonight where we kind of fell behind, but I think we just keep going week by week.
A tough loss for Denair, who just couldn't bounce back from giving up 20 unanswered points in the third quarter. For their efforts, Denair finished the game with a total of 182 offensive yards. As for Weston Ranch, after recording only 48 yards in the first half, the Cougars clawed back with 209 second-half yards for a team total of 257 yards. Now switching to individual players, the Coyotes hit the Cougars with a 3-pronged running back attack. Senior David Smith had 9 carries for 71 yards. Junior Harley Padilla had 21 carries for 52 yards. And Cody Martinez, also with 21 carries, had 76 yards and Denair's only touchdown. And on the opposing sideline, Aaron James Rodriguez proved to be the breakout player of the game. He had 148 yards and 2 touchdowns on 3 receptions, in addition to 14 yards on 2 carries. His efforts helped Weston Ranch snap a 7-game skid, and this proved to be the best defensive performance for the Cougars since the 2016-2017 season. Next up, Weston Ranch will face Ripon High on Thursday. As for Denair, they will face Riverbank. They're coming off a huge loss against Orristimba, and they have yet to score 1 touchdown this season. And so I think head coach Anthony Armitz and his Denair squad are looking at next week as a potential win and a way to get their season rolling after 2 straight losses. As for the Blitz, we'll be in Modesto next week when we cover the traveling Pittman High as they take on Modesto High. And Pittman, they just got their first win of the season after beating Grigori High 48-20. They're now 1-1, looking to get their second win as we approach the midpoint of the 2021 season. You can find that episode, as well as last week's coverage of Turlock versus Downey at turlockjournal.com. And of course, you can find all other updates regarding high school football on Instagram and Facebook if you follow the Turlock Journal. That's it for week 2 of the Blitz. Thank you for watching.